Hey TVs, it's Psychic Bob. It is so awesome to be back with you. Well, welcome to Saturday. It's Saturday night, and that means it's time for our Saturday night seance. And I tell you, I'm just so excited to be here with you guys. I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video. I really appreciate your kind words. As I showed you yesterday, I am now an official card-carrying member of the Spiritualist National Union. I'm wearing my Spiritualist badge today, my pin. That's my official membership pin. I want to say thank you to all of you who came out to support my announcement of my official welcoming into the SNU. Anyways, we're going to continue today. It's on our seance series. By the way, welcome to our new subscribers. We've had a number of new subscribers this month. And if you're new here, we do this every Saturday. And you may not know our routine, but we gather on Saturday. We have an old-time traditional spiritualist seance. I come out of the spiritualist church tradition. And for many years, I was a formal spiritualist. And then I went independent for a while. Now I'm back to being part of the spiritualist movement officially as a member of the Spiritualist National Union. So every Saturday we gather, we have a little spiritualist teaching, and then we have a seance and see what comes from the spirit world. I'm what's known as a trance channel or a trance medium. So I go into a trance state and spirits speak through my body. Now this is not possession. It is a blending of harmonious energies. Possession is when an evil spirit forces its way into a body and takes control. This is not what trance channeling is. Trance channeling is where I say I'm going to step back my consciousness and allow them to temporarily, and that's the important word, temporarily use my body and nervous system and vocal cords to speak to you. So it's an allowing, it's a sharing, it's a friendship. It is not a possession, okay? I want to make that clear because I get letters sometimes from people in the public, and they say, oh my God, I saw that seance. Are you okay? It looks like you were possessed. It's not possession, it's a sharing. So anyways, we're going to continue. Last week we started on this book, which I got from the NSU, called The Philosophy of Spiritualism. And in fact, we'll just go real quickly through the 7 principles of spiritualism. Now, as many of you know, I've also been a member of the NSAC, which is the American branch, the National Spiritualist Association of Churches. They have 9 principles. The British group that I now belong to has 7 principles. They're slightly different, but basically the same. So the British form's a little more abbreviated. So we could begin this by saying, we believe, okay? If you say, what does the Spiritualist, National Spiritualist Union believe? This is the 7 points. Number 1, we believe in the fatherhood of God. Number 2, we believe in the Brotherhood of Man. Number 3, we believe in the communion of spirits and the ministry of angels. Number 4, we believe in the continuous existence of the human soul. Number 5, we believe in personal responsibility. Number 6, we believe in compensation and retribution hereafter for all the good and evil deeds done on earth. And number 7, we believe in eternal progress open to every human soul. Okay? So these are the 7 principles. Now, last week we read from the chapter on the fatherhood of God. And for those of you who missed that, you might want to go see that. But spiritualism, even though this says the fatherhood of God is not a patriarchal religion, it believes in the motherhood of God as well. But these principles were written in the 1800s, so they probably should update them, but, you know, they just haven't. But the principles are true, I believe. All right, so we're going to look today at the 2nd principle, the Brotherhood of Man. Okay, so according to the philosophy of spiritualism, excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. The Brotherhood of Man. The foundation of the religious philosophy of spiritualism is the acceptance that there is a power we term God, the creative energy of the universe, which has established and thus links and binds all that exists. Whilst the wording of the 2nd principle of spiritualism refers to what we call mankind, The ramifications go much wider than that, and it can be inferred that the meaning includes other forms of life on Earth. Okay, what are we talking about? Other forms of life. Trees, plants, animals, the Earth itself, okay? So keep that in mind when we talk about the Brotherhood. We shall, however, first consider the human race, which truly is a brotherhood. Scientific research has shown that mankind, as we know, is originated many thousands of years ago in Africa, and that small families and groups migrated throughout the earth, eventually evolving into the varied races and societies that exist today. Therefore, all human beings, having originated from the same human family, share the attributes, feelings, and emotions that define us as the species we are. We are aware that people live within different societies and cultures, but the main thread of human feeling and emotion nonetheless runs throughout. The ability to feel and think is common to the whole, and what makes one part of mankind makes all. The bond that allows us to say we are truly brothers is the knowledge that, in essence, we are all the same, and it is this unifying force that helps every human being to know and understand another. Thus, we can draw a parallel between the existence of a spiritual brotherhood and the existence of a physical brotherhood. Let us now consider man as mentioned in the second principle. Based upon the idea of God as Father, and accepting that humankind is thus the child of God, we can draw no conclusion other than that the Brotherhood of Man is a reality and not just an ideology or an aspiration for the distant future. In accepting the Brotherhood of Man, we should walk the spiritual journey of life together and promote love, tolerance, and understanding among men. Having accepted the first principle, the fatherhood of God, it would seem a natural consequence to accept the second principle, the brotherhood of man. God loves each of us exactly as we are, with all our faults and imperfections. Why then should we not equally love our brothers and accept their faults and imperfections? For we have before us the example of the Master who demonstrates the truth of absolute love. A significant part of the lesson of human life is development of the qualities of tolerance and understanding. To test and endeavor to overcome negative responses by giving love in the face of adversity. So we'll stop there. This goes on quite a bit. But as you see, as the author is saying, we are all connected under the divine, the Godhead. We are children, literally, part and parcels of God. So there's another little philosophy for you to meditate on. Well, we're going to sit down and have our seance. And if you were here in my home with me, which in a sense you are virtually, I'd have you pull up your chairs and we'd sit in a circle and we'd take the lights down. So you can virtually, though, be part of our circle. So pull up to your computer and know that you are part of our etheric circle tonight, okay? Well, I'm going to bring down the lights. We're going to do another red light seance. So let me adjust the lighting here, and we'll see what the spirit people have. Okay, now we're in red light. All right, so I'm going to go into trance. We'll see who comes through. I never know. It's always an adventure. But I'll see you when I get back. Oh, well, good evening. This is Fletcher. Give us just a moment while we get control of the medium's vibration. Oh, it's so good to be back with all of you. Whenever we get the chance to come through and visit with you, well, it's quite a joy for all of us. And we hope that all of you out there tonight are doing well. Well, we've got a few people be wanting to speak tonight, so I won't beleaguer the point. I'll step from the medium's body and let them come on through. This is Fletcher, over and out. Greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Oh, my dears, it's such a blessing to be with all of you. I must echo Fletcher's sentiments that whenever we get to come over from the spirit world, it is a true treat and an opportunity for us to commune with you. Many on the earth are waiting for a message from the spirit world. Many people say, is there life after death? During my earthly life, I suppose that sometimes even I questioned it. I used to say, is there life after death? And I used to trouble my vicar with it. I used to go to the church and I said, Vicar, is it really true? Do we live beyond the grave? And he used to say, yes, Rose, but you must have faith. And I used to say, Vicar, I don't know that I have much faith. All I see about me is death and destruction. I used to say this particularly during the war years, during World War II. And my vicar used to say, Rose, there, dear, do not despair. God is with us. And I said, I see nothing but death when I walk the streets of London. And he said, but dear, the souls have gone on to God. And I said, well, I don't know. I've never seen a body rise again. I've never heard a message from a spirit. And I really don't know that I can believe much longer. I said, if this war goes on, I shall give up and become an atheist. Well, my dears, I never did become a full-on atheist, but I must say I was rather bending towards, that agnostic side of things, you know. The strange and ironic part is that during this time in my life, I had a neighbor who lived near me. Her name was Madge. And Madge used to belong to the Spiritualist Church. And she used to say, Rose, why won't you come with me? We're having a service on Wednesday night. And I used to turn my nose up and say, with my sanctimonious way, well, my dear, I'm a member of the Church of England. I have no interest in spiritualism. Isn't that ironic, my dear, that, you know, in my life I had a neighbor who was literally being an answer to my prayer. I used to trouble, as I said, my vicar asking about life after death. And yet here I had a neighbor coming to ask me to join a service that proved life after death. I have to say, my dears, you know, the irony of it is, well, it's not lost on me now. Since coming over here to the spirit world, I must say that I've had quite an awakening. Over here in the spirit world, there are people here who glow with a brilliance you cannot imagine. These are the wonderful souls who have given their entire lives to doing good in the world, to being literally the veritable light of God. You see, when we say so-and-so is a good person and they are light in the world, that has a literal meaning over here in the spirit world. In the spirit world, souls glow brightly, but that brightness is earned. My soul is not nearly as bright as many over here, because I spent my earthly life being vain and selfish and self-aggrandizing. And so I came here very ill-prepared for life in this realm. Now, you know, the good thing is that the mercies of God allow us to step back onto the path. And I did hear the medium reading about that principle about eternal progress for the human soul. And I must say it's true. Since first coming to the spirit world, I was lifted into the light through the mediumship of this medium. And even in my early days of being fresh over here, do you know, I was given an opportunity to start to work, to be of service. And now I am a guide, a spirit guide. You know, I think back to my earthly life, and if somebody had said, Rose, in your future, after you die, you'll be a spirit guide, I think I would have laughed at them. I don't think that I could have comprehended that, shall we say. But over here, it's true. You make your progress by service. And so I come to be of service to all of you, and to be of service to our medium. You know, when he allows me to come through him like this, as I am now, it allows me to grow my own spirit. Though you do make progress here by deeds, not by creeds. And what I mean by that is not important what you believe. I pronounce the creeds of the Church of England. But did it do me any good in the spirit world, my dear? No, it did not. Not that the creeds themselves are necessarily bad, but the difference is, my dear, that I only gave lip service to it. Had I truly lived the creed, or any creed for that matter, I would have made progress upon the earth. And so if you're one of these people who walk about saying, well, I can recite the Nicene Creed, and I can recite my church's creed, and I can do this and that, well, my dears, that's all good and well. But please, my dears, make sure that you're living the creed. As we have said before, it is deeds with a D, D-E-E-D-S, deeds, not creeds, that bring you spiritual growth. See, if I had gone to that church service, even perhaps just once, with my neighbour, I would have begun to understand that truth, I believe. For the spiritualist movement, I must say I'm a little partial to them today, for I found that many of their truths are true over here. And if I had only heeded their words of advice, I think I should have made a lot more progress in my earthly life. But nonetheless, I'm over here now and working on my soul. I've gone up a few notches in the light factor, I say, but you know, it's been a lot of work. Some of you out there are saying, oh, Rose, well, if it's that good and easy, I'll just wait till I die and fix it and worry about it then. But, my dears, do not be so lackadaisical with your spiritual lives. For, you see, to make progress in the spirit world is a lot more difficult. We've all come to earth to specifically grow in the light. How do you grow in the light? As we said, deeds, not creeds. That means practicing spirituality. It means being kind to your neighbor. It means reflecting and acting and saying you're sorry when you make a grave mistake. It means being kind to those who are not kind to you. My dear, it is hard work in the earth to be a spiritual person, especially now on the earth as so many are turning away from the light of God. So many believe that there is no spiritual light or truth. And if I'm to be terribly honest, my dear, the earth's light is growing dimmer. It's growing dim because humans turn away from the truth that they know. Every human soul has within it the knowledge of the Spirit of God, the divine light. Every soul on earth knows that it should be good to its fellow man. But how many of us, my dears, truly do that? I know in my own life I could have done more, and I didn't. I know that I could have tried to pray a little more, commune with Spirit a little more, but I did not. And so, my dears, I'm left here to the loneliness of the earth life. The earth life is very limited if you do not have spiritual life. If you focus solely on material things, you will find yourself very bereft in the end. For everything in the material world decays. Nothing, my dear, is permanent. Think about a car, an automobile. I used to have a beautiful Rolls Royce in my day. Yes, I did, my dears. But after 10 years, that car looked shabby, even though it was one of the best cars. Everything in the material world decays. Your car will fade away. Your clothing wears away. Your own body someday will wear away. And what will be left? The only thing that goes with you, my dears, into spirit is your consciousness. And within that, your heart of love. If your heart is full of love, your transition will be one of great beauty. But if your heart is cold and distant from all, then your transition will not be so pleasant. As many of you know, I found myself in that place of darkness. There is a purgatorial realm here for souls that do not love, for those who reject the light of God. No one in the spirit world is forced to be in the light. It is your own choice. I didn't want anything to do with spiritual light. If it was not a part of my own self-glorification, I was not interested. My dears, don't be like me. Don't make those mistakes. Please, my dears, embrace the light as you can. Embrace it now, and let the light of spirit illuminate your soul. If you let the spirit in, you will glow brighter than the sun at noonday. And when you come to our world, your transition will be one of peace and joy. Do you know, when I died, I found myself in a place of darkness, and I was cursing, "Where is the light? Why can I not see?" And you know, in that darkness, angels came to me, and yet I did not receive them. I said, "Who are you? I don't know you. Go away. Go away. I want nothing to do with you." My dears, if I had a heart of love, I would have known the angels upon their sight and said, "Yes, my dears, please save me from the darkness." Do you know, I was in the darkness over 60 years before I awoke to my condition as being a wayward soul in the darkness. And when I came over here to the light, it was soothing, it was healing, it was what I truly wanted. My dear, every soul wants to be close to the divine. Even those who claim to be atheist and agnostic, somewhere in their heart they want God's love and they want humans' love. So be that light and be that love. Reach out to those, especially those who are most hostile. They need love more than anyone, and they need to be gently reminded that they're on a journey back to the light. Help all the souls on earth, my dears, go to the light. Pray for them, encourage them, be a true friend to them. And if you can take on these tasks, you shall move your own soul into stages of glory you cannot imagine. Well, my dears, Fletcher's asking me to step from the board. He says the power is a little weak and there are others who wish to speak. But I thank you for receiving me. My name is Rose. Greetings. This is Alfred. I've so looked forward to coming to visit with all of you today. There are many of you here tonight who are saying, is it possible that there could be life after death? And I come to let you know that not only is there life after death, but every soul that exists achieves that experience. If you're one who believes that when you die, you shall go in the ground and cease to be, I come here tonight to remind you that you will live outside of your body. Each of you has within you a body of light. It is known as the spirit body. And that spirit body is eternal. And from the spirit body exists and springs your consciousness. Do you know that the divine or God here in the spirit world is known as infinite consciousness? It means that the concept of God is not a man on the throne throwing lightning bolts, but that the divine is a thinking mind, a feeling mind. And in your humanity, you carry that divine energy. You think, therefore you are. You feel, therefore you have a heart. You will exist in this form beyond your physical body. Do not think that you will come here and be floating on a cloud. In the spirit world, life is as tangible as on earth. Your spiritual body is as tangible as your physical body, though at a higher frequency and more refined substance. And so when you come to the spirit world, you will find yourself feeling more alive than you did upon the earth. Some of you there are saying, Alfred, I had an experience where I died. I was more alive than I was in my body. How do I get back to that state of euphoria? Well, I must tell you in all honesty, to live upon the earth is to be less than euphoric. But remember that the earth life, despite its challenges, is where you make the greatest progress for your soul. It is true that it is much more glorious in the spirit world, or heaven, as some of you would call it, than on the earth. And so for a little while you've taken on conditions that limit your consciousness, that limit your ability to move freely. The physical body is limited in time and in space, in a way that the spirit body is not limited. So if you find yourself feeling confined and trapped, know that within your mind you can always expand your consciousness. The human mind is not limited when it is aligned with the spirit mind. Know that you have two minds. Your physical brain is part of your earthly mind, but the transcendent mind, the higher self, has a brain and a mind that is connected to infinite mind. And so when you meditate, when you pray, when you think good thoughts, you elevate your earthly mind to the spirit mind. And in so doing, you raise your consciousness and your vibration. And you will, for a while, feel closer to home. In the earth life, it is turbulent. There are always conditions to offset one's peace. Were it not so, you should make no progress. For those of you who are going through a very difficult time, you're saying, Alfred, if you only knew the struggles that I'm in. Be well aware that we of the spirit, we who reside here in the realms of light, are well aware of your struggle. All of us here have passed through similar struggles. To be a spirit guide, one must have lived at least one earth life. And that earth life prepares you to be guiding those who remain in the terrestrial realms. We who dwell in the celestial realms can help those of you in the terrestrial. But many people on the earth are so closed to the fact that spirits can communicate that they shut us out. How many times have I gone to help a soul who is lost, a wayward traveler, only to be rejected or ignored? Some of you here tonight have heard the calling of the spirit world, and you know that there are voices around you, leading you, guiding you, helping you to move along your journey. And some of you have said, I hear the voice, but I choose not to listen to it. Do not be like this, for this will limit your ability to move forward. We of the spirit world have no interest in controlling your destiny or taking away your freedom, but we will point you in the direction that you need to go for the greatest happiness, joy, and success. Our mission is only to help you to fulfill your karmic destiny, to be the best that you can be, and to learn and to grow your spirit. So do not reject us when we come to you. Some of you have the good wisdom to know that the spirit world exists. Yet even when we bring a message, you treat it as folly and say, oh, I heard the spirits say this. Ha ha ha, I shall do other than what they say. If you do this, you risk losing your connection to our world. Because of human free will, you can push us away and we are obligated to leave. Do not do this, for it hurts us gravely when humans push us away. And it hurts your own journey for turning away the light that could illumine your mind and save you from much trepidation. Understand that we in the spirit world come to commune. We are your friends, we are guides, your allies. It says in the Bible that you are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses. I believe it was St. Paul that wrote that. He said, we are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, therefore let us press on. Who is the cloud of witnesses? The cloud of witnesses are those of us who dwell in the celestial, we of the spirit world. We watch, we guide, we prompt, and we cheer you on. We are your cheerleaders, if we might say. And so let us come and let us help you, and you will not be alone in the world. Fletcher says the medium's power is starting to wane, so we shall not beleaguer the point. But we thank you for receiving us, and I do hope that you will take my words to heart. And I think that the power is starting to go now, and I feel myself fading with it. Please call upon me. My name is... Tubies, I'm back. I so enjoy channeling. I always feel the spirit power move through me. Even though I'm in trance and I don't always know what they're saying, I come back feeling really good. So I hope that you guys had a wonderful seance tonight, and I've enjoyed being here with you. Listen, if you enjoy this, you might, want to consider joining my psychic development class. We're studying channeling now and physical phenomena and seance phenomena. We meet every Saturday via Zoom at 12 noon Eastern time. So visit my website at PsychicBob.com. That link will be below. And sign up this week for my seance class, or it's a spiritual psychic development class, it's called. So if you go over to my website and you scroll down, you'll see a header. It says psychic development class. And below that will be a PayPal button. It's only $30 for the class. It's a 2-hour class where I teach you professional psychic skills one-on-one. So if you'd like to be part of that, I hope you'll come and join us each Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Well, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up, but I appreciate you being here, and thank you for your time tonight. I love all of you. Mwah. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. We got more coming. What's tomorrow? Saturday? Sunday? I don't know. What's tomorrow? Saturday? So tomorrow's Sunday. I don't know what day it is. Oh my gosh. Sunday. So we're going to be here live stream tomorrow, Sunday night. See, when I come back from channeling, I'm a little spacey. Be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time for a special live stream where I'll be answering your psychic questions in the chat. We're going to have live stream. I'll be there and doing little mini psychic readings for all the people in chat. So I hope you'll come out and join us tomorrow. Be here at Spirit Channel, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific. For those of you in Europe, it is midnight London time, 1 a.m. Paris time. So I hope you'll come out and join us for a live stream event. You guys are the best. Well, listen, thanks for being here. I love you. Thank you for all your kind well wishes. I'm so proud to wear my Spiritualist badge. You guys are the best. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, may all of you always blessed be.